just look at telecom. It's going, from border to border. We've seen large cross-border transactions. How are things shaping up for telecom? Cutthroat competition, isn't it?
I mean, in the telco space, I think it is a, the biggest plus factor is the population. I mean, the consumption is fantastic. I think the question really is, how fiercely competitive that market is, and the rates that the rates that these companies are able to realize. I mean, it is. I mean, it's kind of, in a kind of way, it's become more, the telco space is becoming more utilitarian. I mean, if you look at the big cap telco across Europe, most of them offer very high dividend yields, and it's kind of a much more steadier and calmer than the kind of the volatile TMT space that used to be 10 years ago.
So is the trust back in the banking sector? Do you trust another banker when you meet him? In the post-crisis world, this was a big question mark, a crisis of confidence. Is that beginning to get restored?
No, absolutely. I mean, we always trusted each other, but no, the interbank market, etc. Yes, absolutely. I think you are seeing a lot more calm now, and things slowly returning back to normal.
What about investment banking? Looking good?
Yeah, I think we are kind of seeing we had a very strong kind of couple of years. We are seeing that pace slow down. The sector is still kind of absolutely littered with overcapacity. I mean, despite the crisis, a lot of names haven't disappeared. They've just morphed and become kind of new names, and and taken a whole new kind of form. But there is just still tons of overcapacity in our industry, and I think as a result of the crisis, effectively there is a lot more margin pressure now, tremendous margin pressure. You are effectively kind of seeing all the traits of a industry characterized by overcapacity. I mean, it's in that sense not too different to the telco sector in India.
So there's always competition, keeps everyone on the edge.
Competition is high, margins are facing a lot of scrutiny.
How is the view on bankers changing? I mean, are they being nice to you? Are people being nice to you?
Yeah, I think the mood is shifting, I would say. I think, we are much more lower, and also I think people are appreciating that, yes, we do add, value along the way somewhere.
How has Viswas Raghavan evolved post the crisis? Have you become more convinced, more risk averse? What is it that's changed about you post the crisis?
No, I think the focus, I mean, it always existed within JPMorgan, but the focus on risk controls, etc., are I think, across the industry now, and I mean that's the kind of the key focal point. You are seeing, a lot of regulatory, input coming through. I mean, Basel III, as you know, I mean, you just read the papers this morning. I think, people will be solving for the effects of that. But across the board, there is a greater kind of consciousness around, wanting to do something good, and I think at the same time, wanting to absolutely make sure that, as an organization, all the controls and all the risk criteria are all pretty formidable.
So for Viswas Raghavan, is there a trade-off, a bigger trade-off between risk and achievement? Has that changed anywhere?
I don't think the two are mutually exclusive again. I mean, you can, risk is not something that you run away from. I mean, risk equals opportunity. And, I think the key is understanding the risk, solving for it, hedging against it. But no risk, no reward. So, you need to, balance the two and, understand risk as opposed to kind of risk taking over you.
You've got children. Would you want any of them to become a banker?
Definitely, yeah. I think one of them, for sure, I think he wants to be one. I think the other would probably want to be a doctor, but yeah, absolutely. I think this industry is fantastic. I mean, the learning curve, that you go through, I don't think any other industry even comes close, because you're exposed to multiple industries, multiple sectors, multiple clients, multiple personalities. You
go back to India so often. I would be interested in knowing what is the one thing that you always come back with. What do you like doing there that sort of keeps taking you back there or keeps you back in touch with India?
I think eating a lot of food. No, but more than that, I would say, I every time I go back, I see how the country has kind of shifted another gear. And when I look back to '86, when I first came to the UK, to today, it's just a totally different India, and it's just absolutely fascinating. I mean, something to be proud of.
lots of global Indians out there here in London that are keeping India proud, and I think India takes any chance to try and suggest that out there in the financial sector, there's several Indians doing a remarkable job. How do you think they're all fitting in, looking good? Good moment to be proud of?
No, I think there are quite a few. So the sector is totally amenable to Indians, and also there's a sector that requires and is driven by a lot of intellectual capital. The cerebral input is pretty high, and I think Indians would fit the bill beautifully.
Okay, Viz Raghavan, thank you so much for
joining.
Thanks so much.
Pleasure. Welcome.